Hey, my name is Amy, and I'm the creator of the Overtime Journal. In the last 16 years, I have been an OB nurse. I went straight from nursing school to OB. I'm one of those diehard OB girls, one of those girls who reads the literature and brings back evidence-based information to my unit. OB, just like every other unit, has its ups and downs. It has issues that make your stomach go, ooh, that felt yucky, or makes your heart go pitter-patter, or takes your breath away, or sits heavy in your brain. Those are traumatic memories. Those traumatic memories can be moved to safe memories by writing it down. So written exposure therapy says you can decrease your symptoms of PTSD by 76% if you write it down 5 different times. Okay, so you're thinking about it, write it down. You dream about it, write it down. You're crying in the shower, write it down. You're retelling the story to your coworkers, write it down. You're dwelling on it, write it down. Just by writing it down those 5 different times, it can change your nursing career. You're going to be a nurse for the next, 30, 40 years. Like, it's possible. You need to create safe memories for yourself and find ways to cope with those traumatic things that happen. Let's get into the Overtime Journal. So the beginning is a little note from me and a place for quotes and stickers and whatever feels good for you. I love quotes and stickers. This sticker in particular, my college roommate drew, and it's me. I love it. It makes me so happy. I usually include it in on most of my orders. Next is goals. Goals are super important. Find those goals, attain them, check them off your list, and feel accomplished. One of my 6-month goals is to sign up for a conference. I love nursing conference. You gather up your nurse besties, you go, you stay in a hotel, you learn new information that you can bring back to your unit, and then you also bond with your coworkers in a completely different way than you would on the unit. I've met some of my, I've attained some of my best girlfriends by going to conferences. My long-term goal, my 1-year goal is I've been a nurse here for 16 years. I should be able to teach classes. So I'm going to try to teach a fetal monitoring class. This page on yours looks a little different. This is positive affirmations. Mine doesn't have tabs because I'm a page folder. I love folding pages instead of tabs, so I keep a different version for myself. Positive affirmations are like mantras. So you write down all the ones that you believe are true, and then you pick 5 of them or so. And whenever something happens, you can recite them over and over in your head until you believe those things are true. They can really get you out of some sticky situations. So here is the daily page. So it starts out with, what shift is it? Is it shift 1 of 2? Is it shift 4 of? Please don't work more than 4 shifts. I meant 2 of 4, that type of thing. How much water did you take? How much you moved around, and how did you sleep? This is in your control. If you're not sleeping and you're not drinking water, that's a you problem. You need to figure that out. Writing down things to be grateful for makes you look for things to be grateful for. It can be anything from, I'm wearing my sassy purple shoes today, to the staff that are on, to anything. Then you write your wins and your losses and how you're going to deal with that. That creates muscle memory. I didn't get this IV. This is how I'm going to try it again next time. This is the research I'm going to do so that I can learn how to do IVs. That type of thing. And then how do you wind down? Winding down is super important. Your family does not deserve for you to come home and be super upset or agitated or sad. Your family doesn't know what's happening on the unit. They will never understand what you go through. So if you find a place that you can write it all down so that you can get it out of your system and be the happy, healthy person that you are when you get home, your family will appreciate you much more. All right. Now we have a tough shift. So when you have a tough shift, what happens, right? You have to find out who you can talk to, what you can do to snap yourself out of it, and then think about things that are in your control and things that are not in your control. Things that are not in your control, there's no reason dwelling on that. Push that out of your brain. Things that are in your control, that's where you make changes to your practice. So think about that and then start writing in the other pages. Next is traumatic events. Okay. So I said I was a nurse for 16 years, right? I said I want to teach classes, right? They asked me to teach NRP. Hard pass. Nope. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I did compressions unsuccessfully for a very long time on an infant. It was very unsuccessful. It lives in my brain. It lives in my heart. It's something that I've worked on for a very long time. So they said, hey, will you teach NRP? And my body went into a full bubble, protective bubble. No one can penetrate that bubble. I am here. I am me. And no one can get through that. That was my protective mechanism for my body. So what are the deep, dark, ugly things that I don't want anyone to know that I'm sharing with you? What if I don't trust myself? What if my coworkers don't trust me? What if they saw me working on that baby and they know that baby didn't make it? Does that look bad on me? What if they know I can read an algorithm, but I can't follow the algorithm? These are all what ifs that are not true at all. None of them are true, but they still sit in my brain and I need to get them out so that they are not in my brain anymore. And then how do I get back to myself? Next is anxiety page. So we all know anxiety. Anxiety is a what if. Anxiety is like, ooh, there's a lot of cars in the parking lot. Does that mean it's really busy? Or I'm the triage nurse today and the charge nurse phone is ringing and ringing. Does that mean I'm gonna get another patient? I wonder who the patient is. I wonder what's going on. Are they term? Are they? Those are all what ifs. Those are not things that are happening right now. Those are things that you need to deal with, get out of your system so you can move on. This particular day, a patient declined induction. It's a medical induction. So the doctor explained the risks and benefits. They explained the alternatives. They explained all those things. So what if something goes wrong? What if she declines and the unimaginable happens? Well, she knows her body. She can make decisions for her own body. If she chooses to decline, that's on her. That's not on me. I gave her the information. We called the physician. We gave it to her in her native language. We didn't use a medical translator, like the translator phone. We had a person in there talking to her. We gave her all the information, let her make an informed decision about her own body. That's all a what if. I gave that up to her. That's now all on her. So this still, gave me a little pitter patter. Write it down, get it out of your system. Next are fears. So sometimes you have these little fears that maybe don't necessarily make sense, but they're still there. For example, our unit takes GYNs. A GYN takes up a whole labor room for a GYN. So we're our own ER. What if the next patient comes in? What if another patient comes in and now we don't have a room for that patient? That's a fear. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to take GYNs. We can debunk that fear by saying, move them downstairs. It's not a big deal. Let them hang out in OB land for a little while. And then if we fill up, move them downstairs. So debunk that fear. Next is my view. So this is the situation. This is my view from the deepest, darkest trenches. This is my view from the top of the hill, and how do I reconcile that? So the situation is, Dietary is notorious for breakfast time. They come, they leave the trays and say, we're too busy to pass trays. Okay. So my view from the deepest, darkest trenches is, I'm busy too. I just got report on multiple patients. I need to check the MAR. I need to look at orders. I have doctors rounding. We have procedures going on. Meds are due. I'm busy too. So that's my view from the trenches. From the top of the mountain, I could say, okay, well, we all work as a team. When I go in to lay eyes on my patient, do a quick once over, this is our plan of the day, this is what's going on, any questions, here's your breakfast, I'll be back shortly. I'm gonna do that anyways, so I could just pass my own trays. So then at the bottom, is this a institutional problem or is this a me problem? Is this a problem I need to go up the chain of command for, or is this a problem that I just need to put my big girl panties on and deal with? I feel like this one's a me problem. Next, we have a debrief. This debrief is not an institutional debrief. This is an emotional debrief. This is not a debrief where we say who did what could we do better, that type of situation. This is not pointing fingers. This is dealing with your own emotions related to what happened. So this particular day, a baby was moved to the nursery. We already know that I have issues with that, some little sensitive things. So when the baby was moved to the nursery, they unplugged the stabiliette from the wall and they didn't turn it off. So if they unplug it without turning it off, it beeps incessantly and it gets louder and louder and more high pitched, and it just like rings in my brain as danger Will Rogers. Like my body is in danger, this baby is in danger, everyone's in danger. So here where it says what went well, I literally wrote nothing. Nothing went well due to the sound. So what needs work? We need to stop the beeping. What feelings did my body have? My body stopped me dead in my tracks and said, whoa. So my brain took me back to the moment of doing compressions, and my body said, okay, we've dealt with that. It's not that traumatic. We're okay. We're going to calm down a little bit. We're going to do some tapping. We're going to do some deep breathing. Okay, let's just check ourselves. What did I learn? I learned that maybe I need to work on beeping. So I've worked on a lot of other things surrounding an infant resuscitation. Maybe I need to work on the beeping. And in the future, what am I going to do? In the future, I'm going to be the girl who goes in to advocate to turn the machine off and then unplug it so that it doesn't beep. I'm going to teach all of my new people that. I am going to try to make that part of the NRP program. Then at the end, was this productive? Was going through this productive? Was my mind able to relax? And do I feel resolution from this? Could be yes, could be no. Could be I need to write some more things. Here's an example of my page folding. In the very back, there's some room for extra stuff and another little note from me and Nurse Amy. So as you notice, I did not share any real situations that happen with patients. This is not about situations that happen with patients. This is about how you react to those situations. It could be anything from, I drew a stat lab and now the lab won't come and get them because I drew it. That's frustrating. That's really frustrating. It could be a significant other treating someone poorly. It could be feeling like maybe I could have done more before the patient went to C-section. I didn't go to C-section. The patient went to C-section. That's on them. That's their story. What could I have done to either prevent the C-section or try to get the C-section earlier in time so that we can help with those situations? I really hope you enjoy the Overtime Journal. This is a labor of love. You have many, many more years of nursing ahead of you, and I hope you use this to cope with the situations that will happen. Good luck.